What's up, guys? It's me, Daniel, with VintageMagic.com. Talking to you live right now in my car. Nick's asleep, so that's good. So basically, the video today is all about this idea I posted recently on Facebook. It's got a lot of traction. It's all about doing a potential box break or pack break for Magic the Gathering. For those of you, it's not a new idea. It's been going on with the sports card world quite a bit. In fact, at like the national convention in baseball card land and sports card land, they have like a live televised on Twitch or whatever. These breaks happen all the time, and you basically can buy into these older vintage packs. Really old packs. I think there was one pack where it was like a 1955 Bowman, where a PSA 9 Mickey Mantle was pulled. So it was a raw card, and it was graded PSA 9. And that, I don't know the estimated value of that, but I would assume it's in the multiple five-figure range. So the whole point of this is, obviously, there's a lot of benefits to this. I think, for those of you who don't understand why people would do this, it's kind of has a multiple fold. A lot of times, for example, I have like for Magic the Gathering, there's a lot of expensive packs that we sell, and a lot of people want to open them, but they don't have the cost, they don't have the principle to buy the packs or the starter decks. So in this idea, what we're going to do is sell these slots, pack slots essentially, and it will just basically be the number of cards in the pack. Everybody will get a card. And it's not like anybody, no one gets zero pack or zero cards. And what will happen is there'll be a randomizer based off of the slot that you have. You have your name and slot, let's say number 1, and then there's a total of, let's say, 8 slots for an Arabian Nights pack. So using the Arabian Nights pack analogy, basically you have a pack. Let's say we say it's $800 for the pack. It's more than that, but let's start with that. And we say that the slot of value is $100. And so you basically pay $100. And once all the slots are filled, you basically would then randomize everybody's name. They would all get, it's on Google, it's very random, and numbers don't lie. After you do that, you open the cards. Now, this is one thing I wanted to get some ideas on, is I was going to open the cards, and then obviously they'll be on camera. And what will happen is you would then randomize the cards further. So, for example, as you guys know, for Magic the Gathering, unlike sports cards, the rares and the commons and uncommons happen to be in a specific slot all the time. So in the sports card world, the cards tend to be more rare. It's very unpredictable. So that's why they don't have to reshuffle the cards or do anything, because everything is extremely randomized in baseball card world. Or football, basketball, cards. So the idea with Arabian Nights packs analogy, you basically at this time would, let's say we have the 8 slots filled, then we would then open the packs upside down, open the 8 cards upside down, put them all out, there's 8 cards, and then obviously we'll probably sleeve them up, upside down, so they're in plastic, so they're easy to rotate. And then you would just kind of shuffle the cards in a very safe manner, because these cards can also be graded. I'll go into that part of it too, which isn't a great idea. Thanks for the compliment, guys. What's up, Nick? What's up? It's like so sick. All right, so the idea here is then with these with the opening, then we would flip them over, and that's the packs. Those are the card you would get. Now, I definitely feel like you can buy into multiple slots. I think that's smart, because some people want to increase their percentage of getting X amount of cards, and that's great. And I also will go over the debate of gambling and what this is and what it isn't. And I also need some of your guys' ideas too. So there's also this idea of, I have an idea of basically putting in bonus cards or added cards. So thanks, Brock. So basically the idea here is, if you put in bonus cards as part of the actual opening, it makes it even more exciting and more appealing. So, for example, I would probably, like, let's say an Arabian Nights pack opening situation, I might throw in, a guaranteed good card like Ernum de Jin or maybe a Juzam de Jin. I don't know, something crazy like that. And obviously, the pack price yield might be higher based on that reason. Conversely, I was thinking, another idea would be, let's say we, you know, maybe make it like other benefits that occur, right, for everyone. So with your pack purchase, you might be, if you, let's say, do not get, let's say you didn't get the rare or you didn't get any good valuable cards, then you would have the option to get into the next pack opening at a discount. All right, so let's talk about some of the, I guess, the obvious problems with this. I've looked at some of the laws on, the Washington State, because I'm in Washington State in the United States. And there's these things about raffles, and this is not a raffle. I think what's important to understand is, yes, Nick, it'll be online. Probably Facebook Live is the way to go, because it seems like the most obvious way, and then you can record, you can have it upload as a video, and there you go. Okay, and then this is a good question here. You think it would be possible if you know the sequence of the rare? No. So what would happen is, I don't think that's smart. I mean, I guess you could make the commons and uncommons and rares. You can auction out. You could not auction, but you can raffle those off. But I don't think that's the right way to go about it. Because then there's like the idea of chance, and because everybody's paying the same amount for the slot, so it's almost like we all bought the pack at the store, and basically we're splitting it up randomly, completely random. It has to be random completely, so the shuffling would be very random and all that kind of stuff. So my feeling of all this is that once the shuffling is totally randomized, then everybody gets the fair opportunity, and then there's slots. Like, let's say there's 8 cards, Google would assign then the cards, right, to each slot, and then you would basically, divvy up the cards. So my feeling about all this is that it really, there's there's a lot of areas where it's like, well, there could be some areas of like goofiness, or and part of this is trust. You have to understand, like, we first off, vintagemagic.com, Daniel Chang, me, I don't sell searched items. I don't, I never searched them. And so also I only purchase items from either WotC employees, or I get them from original stores back in the day, or magic artists, or, whatever, right? Reputable sources that actually have a history and a story behind the packs. And I even, many times, open the packs myself at the spot to make sure they're real, they're authentic, they're not resealed. If there's a bunch of packs, I open them because I just want to make sure that they're real, to have the confidence for that, and they're random. So that I do that. That's the first thing you should know for vouching. The second thing is, when you do like some type of pack break, the camera was always going. So you're going to be able to see every action. There isn't like this sleight of hand manipulation. I'm not like Shin Lim, the guy who won the America's Got Talent contest recently. There's none of that funky monkey stuff. I guess you could argue and say, well, Daniel's learned some, crazy magic abilities, but that's not happening here. So, and the thing is, all of the packs end up, there'll be like a clean. There'll also be some witnesses. So, in many cases, I want to do this with people around. I want to do this around. So I think that's part of it. Yeah, so I think it's important to understand that there's a lot of potential here, from cost and also fun factor. So let's talk about fun factor. I think, and full disclosure, I think doing this on like YouTube Live, and I was thinking about doing it like on every Wednesday, like maybe every Wednesday at, I don't know, 7 p.m. or I don't know, something like that, where I would post something. And there will be times, unfortunately, I can't get the camera set up or something. I might not be live, but there'll still be people around. It'll be pre-recorded, and we'll have to state that in the video. But the idea of all this is basically you'll have, people around visually, seeing the opening. And then you'll also be able to see, you'll also be able to see like, hey, look, you know, this is, Daniel's not doing some funky, junky mess, but, and I'm not buying myself. I'm not open boosters by myself opening the packs. A question came in real quick. What I'm saying before you open the pack, you know the placement. If it's 8 cards, third card down, rare, so on. Yeah, so I think that's a good idea in the sense that if you're trying to sell slots, but I don't want to do that. I think that then that loses the excitement. What you're basically doing is you're buying the common slot, you're buying the uncommon slot, and the rare slot. And unfortunately, I don't think that makes it fair for everybody else, because then what will happen is people will bid up the rares, etc. Hi, Vera. Vera, by the way, I'm going to New York. Vera has a YouTube channel, Vera Dark, and I don't think that's her last name. And I'll be in New York December 15th and 16th, 17th. But Saturday, December 15th, I'll be in New York. So for those of you guys in New York, if you want to meet up, let me know. Put in the comments below, and we can set something up. We're going to be playing some Magic on the 15th of December this year, 2018. All right, so back to the topic at hand. I think the idea here is that the agreement is that, everybody would kind of sign off and say, hey, by paying for this, you're basically doing a group opening. You agree that you could get something expensive or not, but the idea here is we, the company, VintageMagic.com, is just selling you ownership of a card. And the card will be randomized to be fairness for everybody else, and what I outlined earlier. So I think what I'm trying to figure out is with like Washington state rules, because that's where my business is held. I wonder if this is considered a raffle, but I don't think it is, because you're always going to get something. That's number one. You're also not winning nothing. You're not winning anything. You're basically getting an item that you already paid for, but you're only getting a portion of that. I almost look at, I think Casey Batiro, who put it on one of the comments on my Facebook, he said it was like owning a piece of pizza, a big pizza. You're getting a piece of the pizza. So that's kind of interesting way to look at it. And I look at it very similarly, like it's almost like land ownership. Let's say we have a big plot of land and we cut it 10 ways and we split up the costs. And, instead of, this certain pieces of land might have gold in it. Some people have my oil resources. So instead of just fighting over it and all that kind of stuff, we just do a random thing, right? And we basically calculate, whoever gets what plot of land at what point. So that's kind of the way I look at it. I'm just trying to figure out the legalities. Yeah, so Vera says it's not a raffle. Yeah, it's not technically a raffle, I don't think. And the other thing that gives me a lot of confidence in this idea is, and people have argued and said, well, just because other people have done this type of idea doesn't mean that it's legal. The thing is, though, the people at the National is a company. I forgot. It's like vintagebreaks.com, Vintage Breaks. And they do these things at the National Sports Car Convention, held at the National Live for the last 2 or 3 years. I'm not sure what they're running, but if you think about this, it's absolutely legal, because they obviously vouch for, they've already got the approval from the convention. And if it was an illegal operation, then they would have already been shut down. And the National itself is such a big, it's kind of like a Gen Con, right? Or it's kind of like a San Diego Comic-Con for sports cards. It would have already been shut down a long time ago. So I have a lot of confidence that this is not illegal. It's just that there's some formalities that I got to figure out. So I will take some comments below. Tell me what you think. If there's any kind of MTG DOS, don't feel stupid about your suggestion. I think it's a great idea where you sell the common, the rare, uncommon, slots, whatever. I understand what you're saying. But another thing I was going to mention to you guys is actually I want to do some of these pack and box breaks on newer stuff. It wouldn't just be it wouldn't be at all just like older alpha, beta, unlimited, all that, Legends, Arabian Nights, Antiquities, the Four Horsemen type of thing. It would be also like Modern Masters stuff, or Darksteel, or Fifth Dawn, or Lorwyn, or Morningtide, or weird modern, the original OG set print cards. I mean, I think that'd be really cool if we could open like a Zendikar, or have a theme going on of a block, and you know, and it would just be a fun thing. Like we could even do it so we have like, instead of having like specifically like all of one type of pack, like all of it is Modern Masters 2017, for example. Maybe let's do it as like we have, you know, like one pack of different things like Zendikar, Lorwyn, Morningtide, you know, so on. You see where I'm going with this? Dark Steel, Fifth Dawn, just different things that people don't actually see all the time, but by the randomization, you basically get to buy into something and you get something cool, and whatever that pack opens, all of the cards, for example, in that case you get, and it's just culling by random. But you know, I don't know. I have to start thinking about kind of logistics, how it's going to work. But yeah, tell me in the comments below what you guys think. I appreciate you guys all. You know, kind of the great feedback I've got on Facebook and also other social media areas. I want to get this going because I think it's a great idea, not only for content, but you know, as you guys know, I like talking about the history of the game. I think when you open the packs, it's also a fun part. Another thing I want to mention that's kind of cool, actually, that's different than most, is typically like at the National, they open those baseball card packs and sports card packs, basketball, whatever. They actually help grade. They actually grade the cards on site. On site. So what I mean by that is, what's advantage to you guys is I'm thinking I'm going to do is, for those of you who want these cards graded, I would actually offer the service for free, in the sense that all you would pay is the grading fee. The shipping would be free to the company because it would be a mass, like a accumulation of cards, right? So basically what would happen is it would be like a group submission type of thing, and I'll have my own cards too, but we'll submit it all together and, you know, make sure they're not confused, basically. And I basically will submit the cards for you, the shipping wise, for free. Then so you have that kind of peace of mind that, you know, you don't have to fill out the form, you don't have to do any of the work, and I do this for other clients anyway, so it's right there on camera. You kind of say, hey, this is the car I'm getting. We're going to zoom it in, and this is the quality of the car you're getting. And I think what I might even do is just make this like a lesson of grading. Like, this is the grade I think it's going to get if you graded the card. And so it's almost like a pre-grading, kind of a show and tell guessing. And then, you know, if it comes out to be where people grade the cards, we could even do like openings of, hey, you know, this was the grade of this box opening, and here's the link to that pack opening, box opening. And yeah, like Vera just said, it adds to the experience from a different factor. It's not just one of those things where you're just basically opening something and that's it. You start talking about why this card got it graded or not. So that's something I can offer as part of it. And on top of that, I think it just add a lot of fun. Another thing I want to mention as a shameless plug is that my patrons, my Patreon is patreon.com/vintagemagic. I have about like 30 or so patrons, you know, here and there. And I think one of the things I will do is that all patrons will essentially get a discounted a tier, or a discounted slot. And also you would get, what is it called? Sometimes I might just be like, hey, you know, you get a free slot on me. Obviously, depending on what kind of pack, you know. So the last thing I'm going to mention is, I think pricing wise, people ask me about this and stuff. I'm not going to be on the super cheap level on them, in the sense that guarantee they'll be full max retail, much higher than like, you know, just like a regular eBay buy now. Not much higher, but just high enough where it captures a few of these costs. Number one, there's my time. Number two, there's the grading benefit and the idea of that. I'm paying the shipping, I'm paying the travel. I might fly to Beckett or PSA to submit cards, so that's a part of it. Number three, it also, I have to sometimes pay for some of these items and pay a premium above market anyway. Keep in mind, when you go to eBay and you see like a pack of, I don't know, Arabian Nights, and it sells for like $500, and it's just not someone that's a legitimate seller who may have searched the pack, they have no idea who they got it from, keep in mind your pack may have already been searched anyway. So one of the things I do is I pay premiums on packs because I want the best experience. I want people to get, you know, what they paid for. So many times I do pay more on sealed product to make sure that integrity is made, especially if there's like a sealed box. So you know, pricing wise, people have asked me like, well, is it going to be exorbitantly more? Well, price per slot obviously will be more affordable than the pack, but you know, like for example, like a Legends pack has 15 cards. I mean, you know, I've been selling those sometimes retail $500 already a pack. And at $500, I'd probably be close to that. I probably sell all the slots together around 600 to 700 for one Legends pack. And it covers some of the costs and, you know, the premium factor, maybe opening up a box or whatever, stuff like that. So keep that in mind. That's what's gonna happen, is that I feel like that pricing process will happen. But overall, the experience and value is going to be there overall. Another thing I will mention is I will mention also like the box toppers for Ultimate Masters. What I will do with that is, if that occurs or stuff like that, I might just open the Ultimate Masters box topper, put that as one of the random, like a randomization. This is the person that gets that one, and do that as the last card after all the cards are open. That's the box topper bonus, and that person gets that slot. That'd be kind of cool. So I think I might do something like that also with Ultimate Masters. I think that'd be pretty cool for the people that want to buy into it. One guy just mentioned, you know, if you randomize and shuffle, it causes a ding. Correct. But what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to, you know, and this is the trust factor. You have to keep that in mind. It's all going to be on camera, number one. I am extremely careful when I handle cards. I know you guys have berated me when I handle some of the played cards, but they're played, and also it looks worse on camera. But what's going to happen is with shuffling of cards, I actually plan on sleeving them in like a card savers or upside down, right? And then what I'll do is they'll already be pre-sleeved. Nothing will be shown on camera. Like the Magic the Gathering back will be on the back. And then what will happen is they will just flip it over, and there's nothing really for damage, no concern on that. So I think that's the key. I think what we'll do is we'll just put them in card saver ones. They're better than a flimsy sleeve. And we'll just go with that, right? Because the card saver one is much better protected, especially for shuffling. Royal, what's up? Very good suggestion. Yeah, Vera has a good point. Ultimate Masters is a little quirky. What happened with that basically is, you know, it kind of helps the LGS, but it doesn't. It's very unknown what their allocation is going to be. It's kind of rough. All right, so to sum it all up, this video was all about the idea of having not a raffle, but more of this idea of a group box pack breaking, and doing it on YouTube and stuff like that, and doing specials for patrons on it too. So I will post this video, and you guys can go ahead and tell me in the comments below. I'm going to rely on you guys to give me more feedback. I'm still looking to, you know, the idea of, is it considered gambling? Is it not? I don't think it is, because it's been going on for a long time. And I know on other Facebook groups, they've been selling like things, you know, they call this thing called RAS, and it's kind of like, you know, like a group thing, you know. So I don't think it's illegal. I just wanted to confirm, because I am a business. I got to make sure I got my T's and dots dotted, you know, whatever. I got to get all the logistical stuff done. All right, guys. Last thing, the essay contest. You've asked about it. I'm still going through the essays. It's going to take a little longer than I expected. A lot of great essays, over 62 or so essays I have to read or so. So we will hopefully get some updates. I'll do a channel update in December, the beginning of December, but I'm hoping to get it done in December, and then obviously start doing the top 3 essays and pick a winner, and then hopefully get them out in February when I go to Orlando. All right, guys, thanks again. I hope you guys are doing well. Thank you for all the feedback. We will talk to you soon. And Royal, I don't know if I'm going to Vegas in August. I'll give you some more information on down the Patreon page. Take care, guys.